Hello, Yogaground. Are we on? Hello, guys. Me and Basiet here again. Let's just wait a few moments for people to come in. Hello, guys. Everyone's outside enjoying the sun, as was I. Maybe put down your wine for a moment. Yeah, if you're outside and you're watching this, this is perfect. You can join outside, you can just stay where you are, put your volume up, and we'll just play around with some handstands. We will use a wall today, but you don't necessarily have to use a wall. If you're outside, that's fine. You can also just play around and kind of explore without a wall. All right. Yeah, so I'm hoping the sound is working. I'm guessing it is. Okay, let's get started. So welcome, guys. Welcome to day 3 of our handstand cycle. For those of you who joined us the previous 2 days, we started off with working on our arms, shoulders, wrists, really the foundation once you go upside down. Yesterday we focused on our core, and today we're going to focus a bit on just having fun with it, jumping into a handstand or flying into it, and see if we can just enjoy ourselves. All right, guys, so just like I mentioned before, we might use a wall, or you will be able to use a wall, but you don't have to. If you're outside, it's fine without a wall as well. So let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to start on the mat. You can come to any comfortable seated position. Could be on your knees, could be seated down in a cross-legged seated position, up to you. And just for the image, I'll do the same as Basiet is doing. Okay, so close your eyes, and we'll start slowly, just taking a few breaths and becoming aware of the body. Becoming aware of what's happening in the body today, at this moment. Finding the sitting bones and allowing them to come more down. Allow the hips to become heavier. And now find the point between the two sitting bones, find the tailbone. From there on up, start to lengthen the spine, sitting up tall, reaching the crown of the head up high. And I'm making sure your shoulders are soft. They're relaxed. The muscles in your face are relaxed. Letting go of a slight frown if you have one. Maybe you're clenching your jaws. See if you can relax them. All right, good. We'll start with some gentle movements. You could keep your eyes closed. And then roll the shoulders up towards your ears. Good. Let them come all the way up, really squeezing them high up. Lengthening through the spine, tucking the belly slightly in. And then we're going to roll them back. Go slowly. Really notice the movement happening between the shoulder blades as they come down. And from there, see if you can push your shoulders all the way down as far as possible. And letting the shoulders come forward. Squeeze them forward and together. And all the way back up. So we're drawing a really big circle with the shoulders, but by doing it super slow, we have time to feel all the tiny movements that are happening. You can feel the muscles tighten and relax as you move. You can just continue to draw that big circle. Taking your time. And as you draw these circles, become aware of any part during the circle where you notice more tension, any part that might need some extra love, some extra time to relax. Feel free to take that time. Maybe spending a little longer in one specific area until you feel like any kinks are smoothed out. You can move freely. Good. We'll change directions as well. See what it feels like to roll the shoulders the other way around. Same thing here. If you notice any particular area that's holding on to tension, just take a moment. All right, good. Now we'll draw our last big circle. And finish up with the shoulders back in center, soft and relaxed. The neck long, the spine long. Good. And then slowly start to open your eyes. All right, guys. Good. Now, if you want to create any other movement for the neck or for the shoulders, here we have some time to do whatever feels nice. Especially if you noticed one area being more tense today, spend some extra time there, adjust, and do whatever movement feels nice. All right. Okay, good. Now, that was about the only slow part of this session today. We're gonna come forward, roll over the knees if you were sitting in cross-legged seated position. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll start with some warm-up for the wrists. So spreading the fingers wide and pressing the fingertips down until they turn white. Extending the arms and start to lean forward. Find that point where you feel a nice stretch for the wrists. Maybe lean a bit further forward and make sure your fingertips stay white. So you want to continue to press them down. Making sure you're dividing the weight of the upper body over the entire hand. Okay, and we're going to come into small pulses here. So bouncing forward and back. Of course, be gentle. Don't force anything for the wrists here. Just see how far you can go. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna come all the way forward again. Continuing to press the fingers down. Lean, lean, lean. Good, and exhale, releasing. Sitting back, and shake the wrists. Good. And we'll take a moment to stretch them the other way around as well. So you can place the top of the hands down on the floor. If this is sensitive for the wrists, feel free to bend the elbows a little bit or maybe lean forward a bit more. Just stay where you are. If this feels okay, you can slowly start to move the upper body back. Try and keep the fingers spread wide. Keep the tops of the fingers down on the floor. And sit all the way back, taking the time to release in the wrists, to maybe move a bit deeper. Okay. Now, if this all feels okay, you want to make it a bit more intense, you can try and make a fist. And you'll notice that you won't be able to get the fingertips all the way to the wrists. So we're going to play around, stretching the fingers out and then curling them up like a fist. Do this a few times. And notice that extra little stretch that it gives the top of the wrists. Good. All right. One more time. And releasing. And you can sit all the way back, slowly peeling the hands off the mat. And again, a nice little shake. Yes, good. For all of us sitting behind a desk most of the week, typing on a laptop, the wrist can get pretty tight. Really nice to do these stretches every now and then. Okay, Now, low yoga ground. Wrist stretches or maybe a shake of the hand, just anything you need to get comfortable again. All right, placing the hands down onto the mat again, spreading the fingers wide, press your toes into the mat, and we're gonna lift our knees up, coming into a flying tabletop. Good, now try and pull your belly button up towards your spine, flattening out the back, and stay there. Keep pulling the belly button in. Now push your hands firmly into the mat as if you wanna push your shoulders further back. And then press your toes really hard into the mat as if you want to press your shoulders back forward. So it's kind of like you're moving your hands forward and moving your feet backwards. But in fact, nothing is happening. You're staying right where you are, but you're just making it really intense. Good. Gonna stay here. Stay here even longer. All right, and next inhale, lifting the hips up, coming to a downward facing dog. Stretch it out. You can move your legs here or maybe roll your shoulders, just taking a moment to relax. And we're gonna come into those flying tabletops a few more times. At any time, if they become too intense, you just lower the knees down onto the floor, or you come back to a downward facing dog to catch your breath. Okay. Next, exhale, we're lowering the knees back down, coming back to our flying tabletop. All right, now, spreading the fingers wide, we're gonna shift all the weight into the left hand, and then lift the right hand up, tap your left shoulder. Maybe hold it for a moment. Okay, good. Now we're gonna alternate, bringing the right hand back down, shifting over, bring the left hand onto the right shoulder. Okay, switching. And continue to switch in your own pace. Every time you switch, try and minimize the movement the rest of the body makes. So imagine you have like a ball of water balancing on your back, or maybe a nice tea set balancing on the back. And you want to keep it on the back. You want to keep everything right where it is. Stay balanced. Very good. We'll do one more. Placing both hands back down. Inhale, lifting the hips up, coming to a downward facing dog. Good, stretch the legs out, roll the shoulders out, do whatever you want. And we'll come into some more flying tabletops in a moment. If you feel like they are not challenging enough, just remember to press the hand forward and press the feet back. That way, you can make it as intense as you want until you feel like it's hard enough. All right. Next, exhale. We're gonna come down again. Knees are flying right above the mat. Try to keep them low. Okay. Now bringing all the weight back to the left hand, we're gonna bring the right hand onto the lower back. See if you can hold it there. Check where your knees are at. You want your knees to be right above the floor. The lower you can go, the better. Good. Think of that T-set that's balancing on your back. Try to keep it still. Very good. And switching, right hand down on the mat. Press it down. Left hand on your lower back. Try to keep your knees low. You can look at your knees to make sure they are. Good. Keep your T-set still. And exhale, release the hand down. And come back to downward facing dog. Stretching the legs. Releasing in the shoulders. Whatever feels nice. All right, I hope everybody's still doing good. I've asked if the heaters could be turned on. I'm kind of regretting my decision now. It's nice and warm here. All right, last round. We're lowering the knees down, coming back to the flying tabletop. This one's probably the hardest. We're gonna bring all the weight back to that left hand, then extend the right arm forward. You can make a fist, you can extend the fingers, whatever you want. Keep the knees low. Try to keep that right arm lifted. If you can, you look at your right hand. Good, I won't make it too long. Lower the hand down, switching to the other side. Extend the arm forward, try to keep your knees low. If you can, look at your hand. Okay, and exhale, lower your hand down, lift your hips up, come to a downward dog. Very nice, good job. Okay, and we'll just take some small steps forward, walking the feet forward, and then step the feet to the edge of the mat. Right behind the hands, and dangle the upper body forward. Your knees can be bent here, your legs could be straight, whatever you want. All right, I just got a call that we're halfway in, so I'm hoping everybody is feeling the heat, because now we're gonna move to that jumping, flying part of our class. All right, so coming back with the hands onto the mat, placing the hands down about shoulder width apart, we're gonna step our feet to a plank. Now remember where your feet were right before you step them to plank. That's where you're gonna jump your feet. So you're gonna hop and jump the feet back to the edge of the mat. Then on our exhale, we're gonna jump the feet back to plank. Okay, we'll do this a few times. Inhale, hopping forward. Exhale, hopping back. Doing this a few times. Forward fold reduction towards shifting all the weight from the feet and the hands just to the hands. And that's what we'll need to do as well when we want to go upside down to a handstand. Now, when you are in a forward fold or in whatever pose and you want to move to a handstand, the most challenging part coming from here to a handstand is to get the hips to come over my wrists and my shoulders. So that's going to require most of the strength or most of the core control or most of the momentum. So what we're going to focus on today is using a bit of a jump, creating extra momentum using the legs in order for the hips to fly up and end up right over the shoulders. Okay. Before we go upside down, I just want everybody to do a cartwheel at home. And we're going to use this cartwheel as our escape option. So if you are trying to come into a handstand and you feel like you're losing the balance, just remember this cartwheel and kind of tumble your legs out of your handstand. Okay? So cartwheel, I think most people know. Hands come forward, swinging the legs up and coming down. Okay? So cartwheel here. Very good. Cartwheel. Now, what I mean with falling out of my handstand, say I go up, I feel stuff going wrong, I just swing the legs to the side, whatever, doesn't really matter what it looks like, just means we're cartwheeling out of it. Okay, having done that, we can come to the wall, or if you're outside, you're just gonna find a flat piece of floor. Now, what we're gonna do, kind of similar to jumping from plank to that forward fold. Instead, this time, we're placing the hands close to the wall, spreading the fingers wide. Hands are about shoulder width apart. And my feet go where they would normally go in a downward dog. So I'm just in a downward dog. Looking forward to the hands, I'm going to bend the knees, come all the way down with the hips, and then use a hop to let the hips come up. Okay, so I'm bouncing up against the wall. You don't need to do that, but you're gonna try and jump the hips up towards the wall, okay? Make sure your hands are not too far away from the wall. You want them to be about a palm length away from the wall. That way you have enough space to jump in, but you'll also have support if you tumble and you go too hard, okay? So, we're gonna practice jumping up. If you can jump up, you're gonna do this 10 times. So we're just jumping, landing, okay? Yes, very good. Lowering down, back to down dog. So doing this 10 times if you can, up and back down. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, it doesn't matter if you touch the wall or not. Maybe you're almost there, but not quite. Just try and give it your all. Jump up and down, up and down. Very good. Continuing to jump. I think you're what, at 8, 9, and 10. All right, good. Come out, take a moment. Relax. I'm really happy to have a model today. I usually get out of breath a bit after a while. Okay. So what you'll feel if you tried to come up 10 times is you'll feel that your belly really needs to work hard for your hips to go all that way. And that's exactly what we want. So for our next try, if you were not able to get the hips up against the wall, that's fine. You're going to continue to do what we just did. So more like donkey kicks, okay? So if you're not touching the wall yet, you're just going to continue to do this, okay? Trying to get there. Doesn't matter if you're not getting there, just keep trying. If you are able to get the hips against the wall, what we're going to do is try and have the softest landing as possible against the wall. So if it's possible, you might not even touch the wall. So we want to find that sweet spot of having enough strength to get the hips up, but not too much momentum that you fly against the wall. We want to be right in between. So very similar, you're going to hop and go down. Hop, ooh, and go down. And maybe you're able to find like a second, few seconds where you're flying, where you're not touching the wall at all. If you are outside, you're not using a wall, easier, I would say, you can just play around, jump, see if there's a moment where you catch that balance. Very good. If you feel like your hips continue to fly against the wall, try and tuck your knees more to your chest. So instead of letting the knees fly all the way up and the feet towards the bum, you try to keep the knees close. Keep the feet slightly further forward. Very good. We're still trying 10. Yes, that's it. Very good. Okay, trying for 2 more. And 1 more. All right, good job. Coming down. All right. Still feeling good? I'll talk about the next thing we're going to do. So this is one way to jump up. But then we also have yogis that might be a bit more open in the hips, that for them it's really easy to go forward like this, for example. If you have that flexibility, by spreading the legs wide, we create a little bit more space, keeping the legs wide. As you jump up, you have less weight of the legs, if that makes sense. If you remember physics from high school, we have less weight of the legs, so it will be easier for you to fly the legs up. So it's like we're jumping into a straddle handstand. So I guess I'll demonstrate on this wall what that's going to look like so you guys can see what happens to my legs. So, okay, not charming like this, I realize. So I'm placing my hands down on the wall. My legs are spread close to the wall. My legs are spread wide. Then I'm going to bend the knees and hop up. Oh, I bent my knees. Hop. Down. So it's totally fine if you're touching the wall. Your hips could touch the wall. And you're going to try and find a moment where you catch that weight, where you're not tumbling forward or not touching the wall with too much force. Okay, let's go. So spreading the legs a little wider, making a smaller hop, getting the hips up. Yes, good. Very good. See what that feels like. It's a little awkward at first, but if this is something that works for you, if you have open hips, this might be the way to jump into a handstand. It gives you a lot of balance, just like, you know, those guys that balance on a cord. They usually have like a big stick like this. Well, your legs could do the same in this posture. By keeping them wide, you have way more to control your balance with. So we're doing 10. I'm really grinding him down. Good, very good. See, I think this is going to be the last one. Yes, good. Coming down. All right, good. Are we still good? We're still good. Let's see if we have a little bit more time. We have 5 more minutes. Okay, let's go. Last one we're going to do is without a wall. And just to keep everything approachable, what we're going to do is we're going to come down onto a mat or onto the floor, onto the grass, wherever you're at, and you're going to squat down. Your heels can come off the floor, they can be on the floor, it doesn't really matter here. And you're going to make sure your knees are a little wider than your hips are, okay? So the spine is straight here. You're going to extend the arms up, and then in the inhale, we're going to place the hands down, hop up, and come down. So as I go up, you'll notice my legs, they stay in the same position. So the knees stay close to my upper body, my legs stay wide. So nothing really changes except for my point of mass. I'm gonna move it from the feet and bring all the way to the hands so the hips can move up. So we're gonna make little hops, and maybe you walk forward as you do this, okay? So little hops coming forward. I think I'll leave the screen if I continue. So pick a little spot where you have space to hop forward. Good, now go further forward. Every time you come down, you lift your arms up. Lifting the arms, yes, good. And again. So you can use that momentum that you create by lifting the arms and go again. That's okay. Try again. I'll join you. You can try and make this go as slow as possible. So again, imagining that you're moving through thick air, you're gonna find that control. Very good. You can see that he's finding more control. He's catching his weight. Very good. Move forward. And try and keep your movement as you go. So there's no moment where you're standing still. We're constantly moving forward. Try to make as little sound as you can. Ooh. Okay, I hope everyone is still doing okay at home. Okay, we're gonna finish up. Continue, finish the last few movements that you have. All right, and then slow it down. Come down, maybe sit down, squat down. Take a moment, reassess what is happening in the body. Are the wrists still okay? Maybe your breath is a little up, you're panting a bit. That's fine. I think you guys got a pretty clear idea today of what it means to be shifting your weight from your feet, very safe, into your hands. And I hope you guys got a sense of the different and safe ways to do this. And hopefully you found a way to make it a bit more playful. All right, thank you so much for assisting. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, stay active, stay healthy, stay grounded. Thank you. All right.